Good afternoon and welcome back to Carnation Crafts TV. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you was with us this morning, but if you have just joined us, if you've just come in from work or picking the kids up or anything, then this is your time now not to miss out on the latest launch that we have brought to you here. We have got an incredible collection for you. This is the Floral Whispers, and as you can see, it is a mahoosive collection as always. You've got 3D dimensional cards in there, you've got the floral embellishments, you've got the beautiful hearts in there, and look at all the little characters you've got in there this time. You've got those beautiful birds and you've also got the squirrels. Now obviously there is a special show price of $99.99 for you. If you head over to the website 250201, everything is on our website there on Carnation Crafts TV, and honestly it's such a beautiful collection. You are also getting the special magnets in there as well, but if you do buy the whole collection all together, you will also see in the background you will get one set of vignettes that you can download for free, but this is a second set we are giving you in different colorways for $9.99. So I'm just going to bring this in. I'm going to bring this in so you can see, but you have got totally different colorways. This is worth $9.99, and bear in mind you can see that's the other colorway, so you've got soft greys and things like that. On this one you've got those beautiful like wooden tones in there as well, a bit more vibrant, taking it through to spring and summer. So all you've got there is a different colorway. These are worth $9.99. So as you can see with that one, it is well worth getting the whole collection with everything in there. The magnets come included as well, but like I say, very, very busy on this one. We were again this morning, so this is your time to start making up your mind. 250201 is that one. Now, let's take a closer look. So this is part of the A-frame card base, okay? So you've got the base here, but that could be an aperture on one of your cards. You know, you can utilize this to its full potential. You've got this amazing, like, beautiful vine that you can use on your cards, and I was showing you earlier how you can manipulate that. You can shape it and you can mold it, like with this one. If I just bring this in, you can see we used it on the circle. So again, there's different ways of applying this. Then you've got these beautiful like boxes that you can use, and we've also got the hanging baskets too. But if you wanted to, you can add little pieces in between and have these so they're like stacked. So you could have them as planters as well. So there's lots and lots of potential to use these in different ways as always. Now next up for you, this is a 3D frame card base, okay? So these are your side panels. You will notice there's two different designs. So if you wanted one that looks a little bit more like twigs or branches or wicker, you've got that look. But this one is more of a traditional one. But you have the best of both as well. Then you've got the different hanging elements for your basket. So if you want a shorter or longer or just a single pendant, you have got those. But these are handy because obviously you could have the squirrels on these hanging on the inside, or if you've got any birds or butterflies, they look great with that as well. You've then also got this special piece. Now this folds round and you've got your little tab to attach to the base of your cards as well. So that means then, like the baskets and everything, you can add these at the base of your cards as well. So a great add-on to add those in there. And you can see by the colorways, this is great. But you can use this to build your florals and give you that extra dimension and shape. Next up for you, the heart, which is so key in this one, and I love it because it's a little bit squashed, but you've still got that elegance and detail to it. Lovely to add in on the trellis and the fretwork, so this then adds as a filler in there as well, but also romantically it has got that essence like in there. We've added it in on the background and also adding this into the center of the card. Look at that. So you've got that and the squirrel, it all just comes together with the hearts, and it's lovely. And I think there is some demonstrations that have been done where they're holding the hearts, a little squirrel. So do have a look on Facebook on our Carnation Crafts. That'd be great. Valentine's Day, wedding anniversaries, or even weddings, because you could have like little place settings. You could have somebody's name at the bottom. That would look really, really cool. Next up for you then, you have got this, you know, repeated beauty. This is just so beautiful and stylish and regal. Now with this one, we were saying even if you did it white on white and you actually layered it up and just did 4 extra ones around there, little piece of ribbon on your wedding day, that would look super special. Adding butterflies to the center or just using it in the center or as a background on any of your cards, that is going to look absolutely fantastic. Next up for you, the characters. As always, you've got these beautiful squirrels on there. Look at his little, he's got his little tum, he's had his little nuts this morning. And then obviously you've got your little climbing one as well. Now, as always, all the artwork is hand drawn, hand coloured. So this is giving you bespoke artwork. It's not, you know, something that's a looky likey. It is hand drawn by one of the team here. And it all works with all the other elements and everything else that you have. Now these, I must admit, I really like because it gives the sentiment plaques a grounding. It doesn't just look like it's been stuck on your card. It looks like it's been enhanced. It's been woven together with the trellis and everything. Yes, if you want to snip them off, you can. But you know what? Utilise this. Use this as an embellishment in your card. Even if you wanted to double layer it and have like a gold layer underneath and then put the white on the top, you can double layer, but it just adds texture. Makes it look a little bit like fabric or like trellis. So again, a beautiful, that's the lattice labels. And then look at this. I have to say, Carnation Crafts do the most exquisite embellishments, floral elements. They're not too big, they're not too small, but they work incredibly well. You can see with this, look at the detail, the shading on there. You can build this up. You could actually make like a wall with these as well because of the detail that's on there. You've got your strawberries, you've got your blueberries on there, you've got your little nest as well. And look at that. Yeah, your little eggs, because Easter's coming. It is coming. I've seen them in the shops. I haven't brought any yet. I have refrained, but who knows? My producer says she's had 4 bags. But she can get away with it. I can't. It'll show every ump and bump, believe you me. Then you've got the grasses as well in there, which I do think is a must for any of the Carnation projects that you're working on, because it's the grounding, it's the detail. It really will give you that floral base, then you can weave in between. Now next for you, we have got the Left to Thrive, and these are the extra long stems, because with these now, obviously you've got that longer length on there. So yes, you can obviously build your own bouquet like I'm doing in the hand, and then you could actually get some fine ribbon and you could tie it around. But because you've got the length, this makes it easier if you want to thread it in between, or if you want to cut it down to whatever size you want, because sometimes if you've got a little tiny stem, you're struggling. Not with these now. You've got the option, you've got the designer factor to build your own bouquets, which could look beautiful. And also, do remember, you could have like the squirrel holding them. Can you see? So he could be stood there. Let me do that. It could be like that, offering up a bouquet of flowers, because you then have got the longer stems. So again, it's giving you an absolutely beautiful way of adding in the florals and having that design as well. So that is your full collection that you are getting for the price on the screen of $99.99. It should be $139.99, but you can see with that one, this is then really going to give you the potential. And don't forget, you've got that added bonus of that free extra colorway in the vignettes worth $9.99 that is now going to be available if you purchase the full kit. So you've got all of those on there as well. But if you've seen some of the finished examples and you're thinking, do you know what, I want those as well, we've also got for you, it shows 5 on there, but you are actually getting 6 sets. Okay, so please don't look at it and think you're getting 5. You will get 6. And these are the Flowing Edges frame collection. Now, obviously, for matting and layering, these are going to be incredible. I'll tilt it that way. A lot of metal for your money. They are a large size, as you can see. If I bring in a pair of scissors, these are big scissors, so you can see you're getting that larger size. You get more of a straighter edge, but then you've got this real organic edge on there as well. You're getting the rectangles, you're getting the circles, you have got the DL, you've got the square, you've got the diamond, and you've also got the oval. And all of these, just to show you one that's been cut out, you can see with the detail, these look fabulous. Again, they've got that element, so if you want to weave flowers into it, you can do, because you've got those open elements. So again, making it really special. £109.99 if you're wanting to get those, and then that will be on the website with everything else as well. So just to show you what you can make with this beautiful collection, you've got this lovely designer factor. Obviously you've got your magnets in there, so you can open it up and things like that, and you can put those in, but this is beautiful. Look at these. So many different ways to do them, and this is with the basket in between. So look, you can see there, you've got that little basket there, but it could be a planter. But think, yeah, new baby cards. If you have got, you know, some of the dies from the new baby collections or wedding and things like that, add them in with this. This could be used for anything. You can make and sell with these as well. So if you're wanting to, you can make and sell straight out the box. But if you're also wanting to make cards, you can do so with these elements. This is mixing in some of the actual dies that we've got as well, and look how fabulous they are. That heart looks amazing in the background there. Now look at this, with the squirrels on there, the beautiful sentiments on there, but also you've got the perfect papers on there. And just to show you, I'll sneak these in. Look at these. These are the perfect papers that we have got for you as well, and these you will actually get with these 48 sheets in this. You get 6 colours, and you'll notice some of them have either got a tiny stripe or a tiny spot on them. The colour palette is beautiful and goes so well with the artwork, so do look at getting those as well. 250220 for that one, $14.99 available on the website. So let's take that off. Now, obviously with the main collection, it is stunning. So what we're going to do is let's do a little demo. Let's start this off and get a little demo with this one. So these are all the bits. I've pre-cut a lot of this, but you know it's the best way to do it. Pre-cut everything, have it all ready, and this is going to look amazing. Okay, so with this you have everything possible to make the most elaborate cards if you want to. It could be a box, whatever you want to do with yours. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these out of the way, because like I say, I've got a bit giddy. And I'll be honest, we were chit-chatting earlier, and not my producer, I was with the team, and we were chit-chatting about stuff, and we forgot what time it was. So I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't got tape on everything, but we can do this. Now with the base, I'm going to show you, I always cut 2, because I like to use one and then I glue the other one underneath to hide the workings. For me, it laminates it, it gives it a little bit more strength on the bottom. Plus as well, if you put it at that angle, it's easier as well. Let me just do it that way, so it's upright. One will attach that way and one will attach the other way. It's as simple as that, as putting it together. There is videos and everything online, so do not worry, everything is on there for you to use. Now I'm using my everyday glue, available on the website, so do have a little look on there while you are getting your downloads. If you've already purchased, then you can sit back and just have a little look round. So taking some of the glue, adding a bit of glue to my side pieces. We're just going to add these. I'm going to add, oh hang on, look at me, I'm stuck to something else. Let me move them across. Let's add this onto here. So keeping it upright, so you know that's the right way to add this in. What I tend to do is just do it down a few mils, and I line it up with that piece just there. Okay, because if you line it up with that, sometimes, me personally, this is just my way of doing it, otherwise I tend to find it's a little bit offset. So for me, that's my way of making sure that it lines up properly. But you'll find your own way. A lot of you, I know, have your own little ways of doing it, and that's what you do, you, as we say. So this is going to go on the opposite side. I'm just going to attach this, and again, same little trick. I'm lining this up with that point there. Can you see? So it lines with that, not with that one. So they are now even. Then what I'm going to do is add some glue to this bit, and this is then going to be my base. And by gluing it like this, it's creating lamination, which then makes it stronger and reinforces it. Yes, you can use red liner tape, you can use that if you want to, but obviously I'm just putting this on a little bit at a time. Now with this as well, I'm just going to put a little bit of red liner tape. Now you are going to need red liner tape, especially if you're using the magnets, because wet glue is not going to be stickable, shall we say. It's not going to work. So make sure you put little bits of your red liner tape on there, and these will make sure that these secure your magnets in place when we get to that point. Okay, so we're adding those in. Next up for you, we're going to carry on layering up, and we're just going to put some of the perfect papers, which are available for $14.99 on the website as well, so have a look at those. 250, 220 for those as well. And again, great add-on to use with your kit to make sure that the colours are seamless, because there's nothing worse if cardstocks don't coordinate. And look how beautiful. So you've got like this sugared almond pink that I'm just placing in there now, but then you've got that richer one. This one's got little tiny dots on, so again, you're giving you that illusion and texture at the bottom of this plinth. But you know, you'll have your favourite colours and you'll work with it. But with this collection, because I chose more of the reds and things like that, you can see the raspberry tones work beautifully well. So it's all designed for you. Now, next up, this is where we start layering and bringing everything together. So let me just find my little bits. Now, this is the piece that I said to you was on the card when we're showing you the boards. Once this is cut out, this has got little elements that you fold in, because this is where you then add a little pinch of glue, and you're going to start gluing these together, and that is then going to make you the carriage sort of thing that then you can put your basket onto as well. You've also got this bit. Now that needs to fold in, because that is the little piece as well that is going to attach to the base. Okay, so when I pop this in and pop this down, that is going to hide all the workings, so it looks really neat and tidy. Can you see? So we'll just let that dry. I am going to start then doing little bits on the outside. So now this is where I get a bit, you know, I start cutting stuff up. Now this is part of the beautiful design of this one. Okay, but I wanted to show you, you can make it into a butterfly if you want to. You can make it into a different shape. You'll notice the centerpiece, I don't know where I put that design this time, the centerpiece that I used in my demo earlier, I used just that little bit, and that went on the top, and that then finished off the design at the top. But with this one, we're going to be using it in the bottom as well. So again, it's giving you lots of different ideas for you to work with. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little trunk box here, and what we're going to do is add this to the inside. Okay, now I know these are double-sided, the vignettes, and they are downloadable for free, but sometimes I like to just put the two in. So either side, it's matted and laid. Makes it look 3D, gives it a bit more of a finish, and just gives you that instant where you can work with. So I'm just making sure that is glued down, so just bear with me. So just popping that in there. This is then going to give it a little bit of bulk in the middle. So that's going to be our starting point. Shall I just show you so you can see? There you go. So you've got that detail in there, and I put it at an angle. I've not put it square, I put it on an angle the same as what I did the other elements. So when this comes together, you can see it sticks out, and you've got that little bit of direction in there. So do think a little bit of forward planning, a bit of thinking, and it will all work. Now what I'm going to do is start adding some of these to the outside of the card as well, and the inside. So just adding a few elements. We're going to start building this up. I just hope that's glued and dried. You'll have more time at home. You will be able to make sure that yours are glued and dried. I'm working a little bit of speed as always, but this will then just bring this together. So just popping these on the outside, and you can see how quickly then this will build up. Harder to show you obviously at this angle, but hopefully then when we turn it round, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So many, oh, we've got lots of people with us. So who's with us today? Yvonne, she's saying good afternoon everybody. So Yvonne's there. Oh, we've got Pam. Oh, she's just got hers, so that's great to know. Oh, well done, Pamela. Oh, she's printing. I hope you've got your pro print paper, Pam. You're going to need that, so make sure you got your pro print paper. But oh, well done. Thank you so much everybody for being there and letting me know that you are with us today, because it's a bit gloomy still out there, and it was gloomy when I drove up this morning. So I hope you're all inside nice and safe and warm watching us. but knowing that this is on the way, your Floral Whispers, wow, what a day to know that you're going to treat yourself and this is going to be on the way. Now what I am going to do is take my heart this time and I'm going to position this on the inside. So I'm working like inside and outside so I can structurally see how it's coming together myself. But you'll find your own way of working with this. I would honestly say to you, it's better to do it this way. If you decorate everything separately, sometimes then you'll find you've got the wrong bits in the wrong area. Me personally, I always do it like this, and then I can see as I'm working with it how everything's going to sit, because I could have put that heart too far that way and then you wouldn't see the curvature on the outside. So that's why I personally work like this. Everybody's different. So now I've got some of these strawberries and I have to say these are great. Now with the bottom of these as well, you can just fold those up a little bit so they actually look like they're grounded and sat, which I like to do on there. So rather than having it flat, I like to ground them a little bit. So that makes that stand beautifully. We're going to add a few more to the outside as well. So just adding these onto there. And again, it comes to life so quickly. I don't want any of you to worry about it. You will realise, you know, you've got so many different details on there. You really can do that. And, you know, add bits that you've got from before, bits that, you know, you've got from other kits, and bits that you just think, oh, I know, I'm going to use that. That's going to work fantastically well with this. And that is really going to add it in. So keeping it so it's different shapes as well, what I'm going to do is add that on there. So if I turn this around a little bit, you'll be able to see what I'm doing as I'm working. So I'm just adding extra little bits here because I just got the bottom, can you see the bottom corner? Just wanted to fill in. So the element that I cut in half, I put half at the back in there, and then I've put this bit here. So again, we're adding shape, we're adding dimension, and just getting this to work. Now, because that bottom corner looks a little bit bare, we are going to start adding in extra bits here as well. Let's put a little bit more glue in on my mat. I have to say this mat is fantastic for this. Otherwise I end up with glue everywhere. So this is a fantastic. And then obviously don't forget your applicators, all on the website, to make sure then application wise it makes it easy. So we're going to carry on building these up. Like I say, some of the flowers, what I tend to do is cut them, or I'll just, you know, pull little bits off, but I can make them whatever height I want. Start threading them in. I'm not a florist, so this will literally be how I think it looks right. Don't go for anything too structured. What I do want you to do is get a little bit more confident at just like, I'm just going to thread that in, but try and thread it in between, not just always behind. Thread it in so then you get that little bit more movement and that little bit more play. And it's simple with a trellis, and obviously with the longer, you know, the longer stems, you've got that little bit more, shall I say, rootage. So you've got that little bit more of the stem to be able to then play around with your heights, with your dimension. And the thing is as well, you can look at that and think, oh, well, it needs a little bit more fullness there. I'm just tucking that in. Can you see? So it's starting to grow already. You don't have to overthink this. Now I have got my little squirrel. I do need to start tucking him in, so I'm just going to tuck him in between. So some of the strawberries at the front, some of the strawberries at the back, so he looks like he's just sneaking out of there. So let's add a little bit of glue here, but if not, just have a play, have a go at positioning them. Don't always have to commit to the stick, as we say. Leave it and just start adding little bits in where you want it. And you can see he's now just encased in there. He's just sneaking in, and that's what we want. Let's add a few more of these in the back as well, because we need to get a few more bits in the back. So adding this into there, just add in a little bit of glue. Oh, got a lump there. So just adding this with those. So again, giving more to the background as well, building that up. I've got my little rockery, so I'm going to use a small amount of this. Actually, I might use a little bit of glue gel on this one because I want it a little bit more dimensional, and we're going to add this to the base layer here. So it looks like my little strawberries are growing out there. So all the time, think about grounding your items and working in different elements. That's why different glues are so important. But having these elements, like now, I've got these hearts, okay, that are part of the kit. And all I'm going to do is just position these on top. So they're a little bit like shadow work. There's just little tiny elements that you can bring in and you can use that just work so well. And it just like little fillers, we can bring them in. Now I'm just going to tuck that in behind those like so. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to do this side upside down, back to front so you can see better. So please bear with me, everybody at home, if my head or my fingers are in the way. So now I've got the little nest, okay? I'm going to take this, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this at the top. Okay, so that's going to sit there. I've got my two little birds as well, my little birdies, and these are then going to sit at the top as well. So that one is going to sit there. So when the magnets are together, this is just going to look really, really good. So again, taking my other little bird, because this one is in there. So it's more like a wedding, Valentine's kind of card. So we're working that in. Now looking at this, I've got a lot of red at the bottom. Can you see? But I've not got a red. I need to add in a few. So sometimes then I take the flowers, I actually take the whole stem off and then just add in little bits. And I'm going to tuck that in just below that heart. And you can see now the flowers are starting to trail. Adding the colours in, so this brings the eye up, because otherwise you will find you'll have different elements and it won't flow. Whereas that, can you see now, we've got cascading. The flowers are adding it all together and it's just adding that in. I am just going to be a bit more, I'm going to be naughty now. This is what I do. I'm going to take the base off, but I know I can always tuck that in over there, so that I'm happy with that. But what I want to do is just where my little squirrel is, I just want to bring that forward. So I've just tucked that in there. The leaves that I've just broken off of there, I'll just fold that bit down. I'm going to take this and this is just going to tuck in behind there. So there is never any waste with any of this. Now we are going to do the magnets. The magnets will come inside your little plastic box. You get 30, but that means 2 sets of 15 you've got. So you can make 15 of these style of cards. With these, don't pull them apart, slide them. And obviously if anybody has got pacemakers and things like that, please do be careful, okay, because obviously they can't have magnets. So I'm just addressing that for you all. So you can see they work together. I know they work together because obviously they've jumped together, can you see? But just make sure you keep them a little bit apart. And then what we're going to do is take the red liner tape that I've got, that I put on the edges, and this is now where we're going to put the magnets. I've done exactly the same trick as I did this morning. My little card bits, I've lost them again. So what I'm going to do is take these bits off here and I'm going to cover it. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is then take these bits and I'm going to put that over there. Sorry, I'm not in the right way. There we go. And I'm going to cover that on there and cut that away. So that makes it look neat. Can you see? Because there is a little bits that you can cut, but again, I put them down. I'm having one of them days today. Every time I touch something, I've either dropped it or I've misplaced. So let's add this. The magnet first would help. Magnet on there and then cover that over. And again, then you can't see it. It makes it look really neat, really tidy. And I can just go in and snip that into there. Okay, so that will all be neat and tidy on there, and then you know you've got that detail. Then as I bring this together and bring this round, you'll be able to see then the finished image. Now a little bit of a tip for you as well. As you can see, that's bowing a little bit. If you then, once it's dry, but let it dry, just bend that back in, and then that, once it's dry, will then stand straight. And it's the same with the front, just bend that. But look at that, look at the detail you've got on that. There isn't a lot of places you can go, you can get or even make cards like this. You can only do this with this fantastic Floral Whispers collection. And obviously I've worked quite quickly with that one, but I know you will take more time at home to do yours. Now, really, really beautiful collection. Like I say, this is a special show price that we are bringing you today here at Carnation Crafts of the new Floral Whispers collection. $99.99 for this one, all available on the Carnation Crafts website. It's 250201. You will get your magnets included in this. You're going to get all of your dies, plus as a freebie, yes, you've already got a set of the vignettes, but with this you will also receive an email containing, within 24 hours they'll send it to you, of another set of vignettes that you can see behind these ones here, and you will receive those, and the value is worth $9.99. Do you know what? I'm going to bring it and show it you. For $9.99, and you can see you've got different colorways, and you'll get it for free. You haven't got to pay for this. This is a new colour collection specially done for this launch with this collection. So to get that as a freebie for it should be $9.99. You're getting it free. That is fantastic. But you will only get that if you purchase the whole of the collection. So do make sure that obviously you pop everything in your basket. The item number for that is 250201, all available on the website. So should we do another little card? Right. Now, what I've done with this one is I've incorporated it, the collection we've just looked at, but I'm using some of the DL dies that we've also got as well. So I thought we'd use a few of these. Just let me get these little eggs out. They've got a little bit of static this morning. They're clinging. So let's put those into there. Now, again, love the perfect papers that I've used with it. I've gone for the green tones but this time, yes, I've got the red tones, but I've added in more of the pink, and the pink just looks incredible. Now, as you can see, I've used the larger outside die because again, it mirrors the image of the main one. And then I've used the beautiful perfect papers in this soft green. It's like a sugared almond green, but look at the detail. And again, being able to thread bits through and things like that, so you've got bits trailing, gives you a bit more of a detail. Then I've added a smaller layer to give you that beautiful crisp, and it makes it look crisp and clean. That's what I like. Now with this one, I've cut two exactly the same because one's going to be the front of my card, one will be the back. Now what I tend to do as well is I will put a score line in. I normally do about 1/2 inch, and that works there on the back. Obviously at home, if you want to use scoreboards, use your scoreboards, but obviously over the years I'm used to measuring and cutting, so that's how I do it. Now I'm using red liner tape because this is a moving part on my card, and I want to make sure that this grabs and stays where I put it. So just add in a little, look at that, magnets are stuck to me now. So do keep your magnets in the box, and then they're not going to run rogue at all. So just adding this onto here. We're going to layer these together, and this then is going to give us a beautiful card blank base. So I tend to just pinch one corner and then align it and press down. So now I've got the perfect alignment. We're going to mat and layer this onto the front. So again, using my glue, I'm just going to put a thin little squiggle of glue, and this then is going to sit onto my card. I'll try and centralize it a bit more for you so you can see it at home. I'm just adding that on to there. But look at that. You could use it landscape, you could use it portrait, whatever you want to do. Now with this, I personally felt it just needed that little bit of white. And if you're never sure about matting and layering, like me, I've done light, darker, light. If you're worried about mixing in, because some people get carried away and they add in lots of different colours for your mats and layers, it doesn't need it. Just keep it to 2 colours, like black and white, blue and white, green and white, pink and white, and you'll find then you get that better coordination. Now this is obviously the trellis bit, but this time I've used this one that looks a little bit more like beautiful twigs and organic. It's more entwined. Now if I wanted to, I could have it off the side like that other example, but what I'm going to do is actually use this on here like so. You'll notice it's got the tabs still on it, because what I'm going to use is those to actually then make it stand away from my card a little bit. So we're having it, so it's going to have that little bit of movement to it. So again, you know, it doesn't matter which way round you use it. I'm going to be using it this way. So again, a little bit of glue on here. We're going to add the glue, and then a little bit on the top bit. But that, utilise what you've got sometimes with your shapes as well, like I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is just put this over here, and I quite want it to sit quite tight on this side. And then what I'm going to do is just bow it a little bit. So we've got that little bit of a drop shadow on there. That's just going to take a second or two to grab, so just bear with me. So why that's just sat there. Then I've got the other elements. So I'm going to be using this trug that I've got. Trug? Yeah, trug. I've actually cut the bits off because I wanted it to look more like a planter. So that's what I did with this one. So I'm just curving it with my fingers to give it a little bit more shape. This time I am going to be using more of a 3D glue because I want that height and dimension to stay. So I'm adding this on to here like so. Now you'll notice I'm putting it slightly higher up. okay? Because with that, I have got other bits that I want to use, like the rocks, to ground it. So that again stops your cards looking too flat. So all I'm going to do is just shape this, and you'll notice I'll curve it, and then that end bit I'll flatten. So it goes up and under, because then the next piece that I bring in, that will go up and over and down the other side. They look so real. You've got that real tones in here. But you know, if you wanted to add a little bit of ink to them and, you know, change the colours a little bit, you can do that as well. These are obviously the main images, because if you're like me, you like making your cards, but you haven't always got time to colour. And sometimes then you colour it and you think, oh, I don't like that. This is a great way, because the artwork's been done for you. It's coloured to look precise, to look beautiful. I'm just going to slide that down slightly so you can see I've got one side the other. So now, rather than it being on a straight line again, you've got that movement. So do concentrate and think about doing that. Now, with this one, what I wanted to do is I've taken one of the hanging baskets, the smaller ones, but I'm curling it round because I want it to sit on the top of there. So again, we're just utilising this to give it a little bit more dimension and make it look a bit more shapely. I've also got this. Now, this is obviously from the nest. That's the word I'm looking for. I was going to say basket, but I meant nest. What I want to do is then I'm going to start adding this. So again, we're adding a little bit more texture to the top of here. Can you see? So that's just widening that. Just little tiny pieces sometimes, and showing you that pieces aren't just what they are. Yeah, utilising it and being like, right, I'm going to use that for something else, because it does look, obviously it's like straw a little bit in there because it's like that nest texture. But you can imagine this would be probably growing a bit of grasses or something on the edge of there. So I'm just having that just hanging over the edge. So you've got that there. Now let's start adding in some extra pieces. Again, I've got my little squirrel. I just want him just tucked in now, just behind the back of there. So he looks like he's reaching up. Again, by adding this bit now and it being off the page, you can see how you're getting a different balance with your card. Hopefully you can see, if I take that out, everything's quite structured. But once you bring that in, it brings the eye in and it gives you a different look with your artwork. Look at him, he's so cute. He's so cute. Now, with this now, we're going to start adding pieces in. So I'm going to be using my glue gel, and I'm just going to start bringing in different elements in here. You've got so many. I had hours of fun, I must admit. I just kept adding bits and taking bits out. And because you can tuck it in, easy to do. So even, like say, if you're not a florist and you're worried and you're thinking, oh, I don't know, just put them in, or just stack them a little bit. And because I'm using glue gel, if you don't like it, you can take them out. No, don't commit to the stick. You know me, don't commit to it. Just literally just have a little play around with the different designs, and you'll soon come in to making beautiful designs. So I'm just adding these in here. I'm going to add another one there, just because these are the filler ones. Always think about putting the filler ones in. And like I say, I love it because I can just, you know, like poke them in, and you know, you don't need a lot of glue. Can you see? So that's already, I've filled the centre out. We're starting to get that little bit of movement. Then I've got my strawberries, and I thought about putting the strawberries a little bit higher up this time. So the strawberries are going to sit literally in the planter. So they look like the wild strawberries. He's trying to get at the strawberries. Can you see? He's trying to get them. So now I'm going to add in as well, we're going to start with the colour now. So again, that splash of red. Sorry, I'll move my head out the way. I get a bit giddy. It's because I want to look close up at what I'm doing. You know what we're like as crafters. We get a bit giddy. So I'm going to keep my head back. Make sure I'm squirreling the raspberries too much. And I'm going to start adding the pieces in. So what I like to do as well is, like I say, take some of the heads off sometimes so I can add those in. I'm going to take some of the pink ones. Let's add a little bit more of this. And I'm just gluing on the floral line, but you can still see a bit of the stem, and it's tucked behind. Do try and put your flowers going in different directions as well, because obviously they are reversible. So add one way, add one another, and you can see with these, like, I think the thistles, these are beautiful because this looks, I love these as fillers. Look how fabulous this looks on your cards. It really does bring it together. And like I say, with your florals, mix them, match them. you know, twist them round a little bit, layer them over the top of the other bits, and just keep going. It's supposed to look a bit wild. Yeah, you're not, you know, it's supposed to look wild. It's not, you know, it's the countryside. You can imagine this at the bottom of the garden or something like that. It's supposed to look a little bit, you know, forgotten about, even though it's not, you know, a bit wild, a bit like me, but, you know, you can make it work. And this is why I love the carnation flowers, because they're the right size. They're not too big, they're not too small. I'm not struggling to think, oh, well, I've got these, but I don't know how to put it all together. You can easily just pop in a little bit of colour. Now, I think it just wants a little bit more colour at the bottom here, so I'm just going to take this one off and add a little bit more just there. So that's just tucked in underneath. Hang on, that's going to sit there. Now, I've got my little birds as well, and then I can put some more behind in a second or two. So my little birds, I want them just sat there. So again, these are just perched on the top, but can you see how it's dressed in the top? Because the top looked quite naked, shall we say. It hadn't got a lot, whereas now you've got your two little birds together just there. And then I can add in, because here I've got that empty space, so now I need to have these, but these can be a little bit flatter, still a little bit of foam, gel foam, what am I saying? A little bit of glue gel. You knew what I meant, didn't you, everybody? It's one of them days. Words and things aren't working. Now, all I'm going to do with this is just fill these out in the spaces behind. So again, you've got some flat, you've got some shapely, so we can do those in there as well. So I'm just adding in, I'm going to put that red one there underneath so it's a little bit flatter. But you could spend hours faffing and adding bits in. I get a bit carried away, you know that. But I can then just put that in and then curve that up. And I'm going to turn this round and show you how pretty you can make just cards. Like I say, you could spend a long time, you know, adding even more bits to it, but having the luxury of the artwork and all the details, that is what it is all about. And you can see with that, they come together quickly. So if you're wanting to get this one, this is your time now to start making up your mind today. And you can see with this, the colourways, the application that you're going to get from this is going to be absolutely fabulous. This is your Floral Whispers collection. It's normally $139.99, but today you're getting this for $99.99. And you can see with this one, if you get the whole collection, including the magnets, you will also then receive the free extra vignette colourway, which is worth $9.99. This will be emailed to you within 24 hours. And then it will be winging its way to you, and then you can use that one as well. So you'll have two different colourways to be able to use. So a beautiful collection for you. But make sure you check out on the website. So because we've got time, shall we do another little card? I'm not eating crisps, I'm opening the bag. So this time I thought we'd do another little card. So doing a square one. I'm just going to add this in, bear with. So let's have a little look at this one. So I've got lots of elements. Look at this. I've been using the flowing edge squares this time on there, and this we're just going to add together. So again, using different pieces, using different bits to really, you know, make the dies do what you want them to do, basically. So let's put this together. So this is my card blank. Again, I just put 1/2 inch on the edge. That is my preference, but if you want to do more, you can to make your own square blank card base. Now with this, I was cut 2. I use a 350 GSM cardstock available on the website, so do have a look for those on there as well. I'm going to be using the Perfect Papers. They're $14.99, available on the website as well, and go so well with the green in this. The colours coordinate so well. Like this one, I'm using more blues, I'm using the pinks and the green elements, so they're all in there. Now this time what I've done is I've taken again one of the trellises. This is like the more structured one, and what we're going to do is I'm actually going to wrap this around the detail. Okay, so again, a little bit different, you know me, I like to do a little bit different. I'm going to use a bit of low tack tape for this one, and it just then gives you a different scope. So if you've got bits left over from kits and you're thinking, oh, I don't know, please don't be frightened to cut them. Make them work for you and utilise every single bit, because if you've printed it, you don't want to waste it, do you? So use them all. So let's put this onto here. So all I'm going to do is wrap this around here like so. Can you see? So that's just going to sit there, because really this is just in the background. It's not there, you know, for the main feature. It's just to dress the background. So just let me make sure that is stuck under there. Hang on a minute. Bit of glue. I've added the other glue, but it won't stick. So let's just take this. What I'm going to do is just lift this up. So lift it with your pokey tool and just tuck that underneath. Okay, so that's there. So that's all we need. We don't have to worry. Like I say, I know it stood on its own, but everything will align in a second or two. Now, what I did was I've taken these fantastic little trugs again. I've left one with the little handles on, and then I've got two here, but you'll notice slightly different shape. So what I did was I laid that one on top because I want to make it higher. So what I've done is, can you see, I know this is a smaller one, but if I wanted that like that, I cut it at the same angle, and then this makes this higher. So now I've got a slightly higher one, can you see? So I can build that up. So you know me, I have to cut bits. I have to make it work for me. Let me make sure I've got it the right way. That's the right way around. There we go. So yeah, I will always be one of these who looks at things in different ways. So again, it's just hopefully showing you that you can just experiment. Make time for yourself and do this. So the top one, I am adding a bit more of a curve to it, so then when you look at it, it looks like the barrel is slightly more curved. Okay, so this is more like as if you've got like a planter, but you want it a bit bigger. So don't be frightened to layer them together, and then the underneath one, just cut a little bit of the element off. Now then I can add this one, and this one can sit at the side. So again, we're dressing it, we're grounding it and giving it a little bit more of a build. So again, adding a little bit more glue on there. This is going to sit onto here like that. And then this is where we can start bringing in the magic bits, as I like to call them. So again, I've got these stones and everything. We're going to add these in, and hopefully you can see that again. It grounds it, it builds it, it makes it what we want it to be. So let's just add these in. This is going to sit on this side, but the tones in it, the way you can manipulate it a little bit and shape it, it just looks fab. And like with this bit, you'll see, I've taken that one, I'm flipping it over, that's going to go that way, and then this bit is going to sit in the middle. So then you've got peaks and valleys, you've got shape and design. So don't always think everything has got to always go the same way. So I'm just adding that there, and then like I say, this piece is going to sit there, so hopefully you'll be able to see that just really gives that a good foundation to build from for the rest of your design. So that's just going to sit there. Look at that. Already it looks like you've got that beautiful play. Now with this as well, because the card that I did earlier, I said to you, my inspiration was this one. The inspiration for that one was the Eiffel Tower. Okay, don't ask, but that's what I saw in my head, the Eiffel Tower. So that's where I got the idea to do all four. Okay, now with this one, when I saw this one, I know if you cut like a bowed sail, it could look like part of a seaside one or one of your ships and things. So I know there is a collection that they do here. I've seen it, Carnation Crafts, that has got more like sailboats and things. You could add them in, so you can change the whole look of your card. So again, have a play, have a go with lots and lots of detail with these, because you're going to have so much fun with this. You really, really are. So I'm just going to start bringing in, and I'm going to start bringing in my little, I would call him a mouse. He's a squirrel. Why do I keep calling him a mouse? Well, it's like Carnation, I know, for mice. That's where I'm getting the mice from, just for my own sanity today. So just adding this onto that. You know when you have one of them days and it just, everything you say doesn't equate what you're thinking in your head? I'm having one of them days. They know, crazy Wheeler, she has her moments, but you know. Let's add this in as well. So building on this now. And with this, again, I'm just going to layer these up. You keep some longer because you've got the beauty of having these super long stems now to add in. And I can have these so they're slightly more hanging, slightly. I don't always stick the top bits down until I'm 100% sure. I like to just try and get a feel for it and add different bits in and the grasses and everything first, so I can underlay it, if you know what I mean. Then I've got some of the other greenery. I like again to break this into bits so I can then use it as a filler. Can you see? So this will then just add that different texture in there. Let's use a little bit of wet glue with this one so I can mix this in. But honestly, you'll get to the point where you kind of go, nah, walk away, step away from the card, because you'll just be, oh, I want to add this and I want to add that, and you will keep playing and adding to it. And like with this one, I'm going to have the little squirrel just here this time. So let's give him a little bit of a curve because he won't be flat. So we can do that. Let's add this in. I'm going to start working probably a little bit quicker for you because I know time is getting upon us. I've got my other little stone here, and that's just again going to ground this side. So let's add this in. But hopefully it will give you the confidence to think, right, I'm going to lay all these bits out. I'm going to have a little go with this first. I'm tucking the heart in because, again, it joins the piece and stops it looking from front and back. By adding a middle piece in, this will give you that dimension and shape in there as well. So let's just keep feeding these in. I've got my glue gel there, so I know I can feed those in. I'm going to add little bits in here. But look at this, look at that flower, look how gorgeous that is. Really, it looks so real. And don't be frightened again to bend the leaves up, add the petals in. I know a lot of this is the white and the green and the grey, but we will be adding colour. But you can see it's about adding your foliage, about adding the detail first before you start getting carried away. So rather than, you know, sometimes we get a bit giddy and we start layering everything in. Just put in your base colour first, even if it's like one colour, even if it's just all the greenery or whatever you want. This will just give you that. I'm just going to add that one in there because I want a little bit of height just there. I'm just going to move my squirrel slightly just from behind the flowers. Now let's start adding in the blue. Okay, so again, I like to cut these down or just snip these down a little bit, add in the glue. But it's so easy, so I can just be like, right, I want this here, I want that there. You can pull bits apart. You don't have to have all your scissors and everything, because as crafters, we like, if once we start crafting, we want to get going. We don't want to think, oh, I need to get some scissors. Oh, I need to fetch this. You can just do this. Now with this, for me on this, it looks too big. So as a little trick as well, what I do is I fold the foliage up. And you see, so I fold it up so it's a little bit shorter, and then I just glue it on. So again, it's not sometimes about cutting it away because I want the bulk of it, if you know what I mean. But I want all the foliage and everything because I want it to, but it's just something a little bit different. And again, with this one, it's going to be too high there. So I take the stem and I just fold it back on itself. Can you see? Just fold it back, and that then will give me, just glue it down, but it gives me a smaller version. So again, don't always think, oh, I've got to cut it, I've got to cut it. Just add in like so, and it will really work. So let's just work a little bit quicker, and I've nearly done. Actually, I'm going to take that a little bit shorter. Let's use my pin flake because this is a little bit quicker, and I can just then, but you'll take your time at home. You know me, I get a bit speedy and I start doing all sorts, but you know at home, you can just enjoy the journey and do that. 10 minutes flat, you know, we've made a fabulous card that somebody will be like, wow. If you went into a card shop and tried to buy a card with this much detail on it, it would cost you, you're looking at £10 upwards. Whereas these kind of cards you can make and sell, and, you know, your own detail by adding them in. I'm just curling the tops now. I'm adding a little bit of the pink, just hooking bits in. You can see now we're getting near the end. It is really, really coming together. I do want a few in this corner because I do feel this corner, it's a little bit empty. So we're just going to add a few in here just to dress that. But you could add one of the little sentiments, but look at the colours. They're just so pretty. Add in a little bit of the blue just to coordinate everything in. So layer those together. If you just want like a little cluster or an embellishment in the corner, I'm just going to add a couple more pink ones, and then I think we are nearly done there. We're doing all right. But you can see with this one, we have got that softer look on here, whereas the other one, like I say, we've used the brighter tones, but this is more pastel. But if you just want all blue, just let's I want that one just there, actually. It gets to that point where you kind of look and think, oh, I need this and I need that. And then with this one, I'm just going to add that in there. Can you see? For me, there's just too much of a gap. I just need to add this little character in there, and it just keeps it so it's all together. But don't be frightened of white space. White space is the new space, and it's always nice to have a little bit of white space so it looks like it's growing and forming. Now, what I'm going to do is turn this around so you can actually have a proper little look at the detail, and you'll be able to hopefully see that is what it's all about. Now, my mum would absolutely love that card because it's got the elements, you know, bringing them indoors in the form of a card. You've got the beautiful romance of the squirrels on there, and you've got those. Now, I need to let you know we are approaching 50% of the stock now has now gone. You are going to move fast. This is the last show today with this collection. Everything is available on the website. Do remember, if you buy the full kit of the details of the one on the screen, you will receive obviously the magnets, and you will also get that extra set of vignettes in a different colorway worth $9.99. It will be emailed to you within 24 hours, and you will then get that second colorway that will take you through all the different seasons. So you've got even more potential with this kit. 250201 is that one, and that is your Floral Whispers. I just want to say to you all, thank you so much for joining me. It was a bit of a surprise today, I know, having me instead of lovely Laura, but it's been a pleasure to show you how fabulous this collection is. Do remember, everything is on the website. Make sure you check out your baskets because I don't want you to miss out, and hopefully we will see you all again soon. So take care. Thanks to the team as always, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.